Every big-time actor in every big-time movie gets all their big-time roles featured on the big screen, right? Well, not always. Hey folks, welcome back to The Binger. Even the biggest names in Hollywood don't always make the final cut. And here are 25 people who didn't. Number 1. JENA Malone, Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. JENA Malone started as a child actress in films like Stepmom and Contact. As an adult, she transitioned into major roles in Sucker Punch, Inherent Vice, and the Hunger Games trilogy. One of the few types of films missing from her resume was the superhero blockbuster. She would remedy that with a part in 2016's Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice, though. Malone played Dr. Jeanette Clyburn, a scientist with Star Labs. While her part was cut from the final theatrical release, she did end up making an appearance in the R-rated cut of the film's release on Blu-ray. Number 2. Kevin Costner, The Big Chill. Before actor-director Kevin Costner ever danced with wolves or became an untouchable, his most famous screen appearance was a pair of wrists. In 1983's The Big Chill, a group of friends gathered to remember a friend, played by Costner, who took his own life. According to a Yahoo interview with Jeff Goldblum, the cast, including Costner, shot a flashback scene involving a Thanksgiving dinner. Kevin Costner's character was in the kitchen, Goldblum said, about to cut the turkey, and he was going to cut this perfect turkey. It's whole, and it's kind of perfect, and he doesn't want to do it. Then we saw the movie, and for one reason or another, they decided not to use it, but Costner was wonderful. Number 3. Uma Thurman, Savages. Uma Thurman has made her career working with A-list directors, including Terry Gilliam, Lars Van Trier, and F. Gary Gray. She also served as Quentin Tarantino's muse in Pulp Fiction and the Kill Bill duology. She's also worked with Platoon and JFK director Oliver Stone, although that work doesn't show up on the screen. Her work as Ophelia's mother in Stone's 2012 crime drama Savages was left in the editing suite. Stone explained to Movie Line that the role was cut due to time constraints. We had to make decisions in script. We made decisions in the editing. We had to consolidate so much. Number 4. Andy Garcia, Dangerous Minds. Andy Garcia got one of his big breaks in 1988's Stand and Deliver, a film about a teacher who turns around the lives of troubled students in an inner-city high school. Garcia was also cast in 1995's Dangerous Minds, a film about a teacher who turns around the lives of troubled students in an inner-city high school. Garcia played the ex-husband of Michelle Pfeiffer's character, a former Marine turned high school teacher. The pair were supposed to have a romantic subplot in the film, but director John D. Smith cut their scenes. Garcia would bounce back with roles in major films though, like Desperate Measures, Smokin' Aces, and the Ocean's trilogy. Number 5. Sarah Michelle Gellar, Funny Farm. For a generation of TV viewers, Sarah Michelle Gellar will always be known as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. However, before she could drive wooden stakes into fanged friends, Gellar saw one of her first roles suffer the unkindest cut of all. In the 1988 Chevy Chase film Funny Farm, 11-year-old Gellar played a student of Elizabeth Farmer, played by Madeline Smith Osborne. When the young actress went to the theater to check out her finished project, she saw that her lines had been cut. Gellar did get a measure of revenge in a Season 2 episode of Buffy, though. In What's My Line Part 2, Buffy tells fellow Slayer Kendra to check out a movie on a long flight, unless it stars Chevy Chase and a dog. Number 6. James Gandolfini, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. From one TV Slayer to another, actor James Gandolfini ruled the cable box as mob boss Tony Soprano on the hit HBO show The Sopranos. Gandolfini leveraged his visibility on the small screen to launch his career on the big screen. He landed a part in Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, the story of an autistic boy who lost his father in the 9/11 attacks. Gandolfini played Ron, a member of a support group for 9/11 survivors who befriends the boy's mother, played by Sandra Bullock. Test audiences reportedly didn't respond to his role, so director Stephen Daldry removed it from the final film. Number 7. Liv Tyler, Everyone Says I Love You. When Liv Tyler got her part in the 1996 Woody Allen musical Everyone Says I Love You, she was mostly famous for her work in music videos for the band Aerosmith. She had some musical genes. Her dad was Steven Tyler, the band's lead singer. She performed a musical number for the film along with actor Lucas Haas. According to reports, Allen cut the number to reduce the film's runtime. Allen reportedly wrote Tyler a letter assuring the young actress that he loved her performance and wanted to work with her again. Tyler would then go on to show off her singing voice as Arwen in the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Number 8. Eric Stoltz, Back to the Future. Can anyone who has seen Back to the Future imagine anyone other than Michael J. Fox as Marty McFly? Well, director Robert Zemeckis, he couldn't either. The problem was that Fox's obligations to his TV show Family Ties kept him from climbing into the DeLorean for the first few weeks of filming. Meanwhile, actor Eric Stoltz had just come off a Golden Globe nomination for his portrayal of Rocky Dennis in Mask. Stoltz, a dedicated method actor at the time, played the character more for drama than for laughs. After 5 weeks of filming, Zemeckis fired Stoltz and contacted Fox. Fox would work on Family during the day and Future at night, pulling double duty for several weeks. Number 9. Tobey Maguire, Life of Pi. Tobey Maguire may be best known for his role as Peter Parker in director Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. However, getting his role in an Oscar-winning film cut out of the movie could have really had him climbing the walls. Life of Pi director Ang Lee had originally cast Maguire as the reporter who interviews the main character. Lee reportedly cut the role because he felt Maguire's star status interfered with his vision of the film. Maguire told The Hollywood Reporter, "I fully support Ang's decision to go in a different direction for the role in Life of Pi. Ang shared a lot of the film with me, and what I saw was absolutely beautiful." Number 10. Angela Bassett, Mr. and Mrs. Smith. By 2005, Angela Bassett had already piled up memorable roles in films such as Malcolm X, Waiting to Exhale, and How Stella Got Her Groove Back. She also earned an Oscar nomination in 1994 for her portrayal of legendary singer Tina Turner in What's Love Got to Do with It. Bassett was all set to play one half of a villainous couple in the action comedy Mr. and Mrs. Smith. The original ending featured a confrontation with Bassett and Keith David going against stars Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. Director Doug Liman later changed his mind, deciding that the film didn't need a final confrontation. Bassett's voice can still be heard in a phone call ordering Mr. Smith to off the missus. Number 11. Chris Cooper, The Ring. Actor Chris Cooper has had one of the most eclectic careers in Hollywood. His roles have ranged from a Marine colonel in American Beauty to an orchid-loving horticulturist in Adaptation. He also snagged a role in The Ring, the 2002 American adaptation of the Japanese horror classic Ringu. Cooper played a convict who receives a cursed videotape from a journalist played by Naomi Watts. The curse is that anyone who watches the tape will pass away within 7 days of viewing it. The only curse Cooper experienced was the loss of his screen time. Test audiences reportedly stated that Cooper's performance overwhelmed much of the rest of the film, so director Gore Verbinski cut him out. Number 12. Ashley Judd, Natural Born Killers. With roles in such films as A Time to Kill, Double Jeopardy, and High Crimes, actress Ashley Judd is no stranger to courtroom dramas. However, nothing could have prepared her for her courtroom scene in Oliver Stone's 1994 film Natural Born Killers. Judd played Grace, a witness set to testify against Mickey and Mallory, a couple on a crime spree played by Woody Harrelson and Juliette Lewis. The scene involved Mickey cross-examining Grace, then driving his pencil into her chest in the middle of the courtroom. Stone cut the scene from the theatrical release, claiming time constraints. Judd's scene does appear in the director's cut of the film's home release, though. Number 13. Sienna Miller, Black Mass. British actress Sienna Miller is no stranger to roles that call for an American accent. She puts on a Texas twang in American Sniper and a rural Pennsylvania accent in American Woman. When director Scott Cooper cast Miller in the Boston-based crime drama Black Mass, she went to work on perfecting a South Boston accent. Miller played Catherine Gregg, longtime girlfriend and notorious gangster James Whitey Bulger, played by Johnny Depp. According to Vanity Fair, Cooper cut Miller's part out because he felt that Bulger's time with Gregg was less dramatic than his years with his common-law wife, played by Dakota Johnson. Number 14. Mickey Rourke, The Thin Red Line. Mickey Rourke has had one of the most enduring and combative careers of any actor in recent decades. He's played a wrestler, fought as a boxer, and verbally sparred with interviewers, directors, and other actors. Rourke was more than ready for combat, at least on a film set in 1998 when he landed a role in Terrence Malick's The Thin Red Line. In a 2005 interview, Rourke described the experience as some of the best work I've ever done. Unfortunately, none of that work made it onto the theatrical cut of the film. Rourke cited political reasons and the temperature of me and the film industry as the reason behind the cut. Number 15. Mick Jagger, FITZCARRALDO. For more than half a century, Rolling Stones frontman Mick Jagger has claimed his spot at center stage. Despite his status as an all-time rock legend, he couldn't keep his role in the 1982 film FITZCARRALDO from hitting the cutting room floor. Jagger played Wilbur, a mentally challenged man who worked for the title character, played by Klaus Kinski. The shoot took several months, so Jagger had to back out due to scheduling conflicts, and director Warren Herzog just never used any of Jagger's footage. Jagger is a tragic gap in the history of film, Herzog said in an interview with the German edition of Playboy. He hasn't been praised enough as someone who could have been a great actor. Number 16. Robert Pattinson, Vanity Fair. British actor Robert Pattinson made his name in the Twilight Saga series, but audiences first saw him in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire as Cedric Diggory. However, Pattinson almost made his big screen debut a full year earlier. In 2004, Pattinson appeared in director Maria Nair's adaptation of the classic British novel Vanity Fair. Pattinson played Sir Rowdy Crowley, the grown son of Becky Crowley, played by Reese Witherspoon. Although the scene didn't make the theatrical cut, Pattinson and Witherspoon would then go on to star together in another period drama, which is 2011's Water for Elephants. Number 17. James Van Der Beek, Storytelling. In 2001, James Van Der Beek was one of the hottest young actors in Hollywood. His roles in the hit TV show Dawson's Creek and his high school football movie Varsity Blues put him on the map. When Van Der Beek landed a role in director Todd Solondz's indie drama Storytelling, it looked like a big step up his career ladder. When Solondz edited the film, he cut out Van Der Beek's part. You write the script and you think it's about X. You shoot it and you think it's about Y. And then you go into the editing room and it turns into Z. Solondz told Entertainment Weekly. It happens to me with every movie. Number 18. Michelle Monaghan, SYRIANA, Unfaithful, Constantine. It's bad enough for an actor to have their roles cut from a major film once in their careers, but 3 times? In 2002, Michelle Monaghan had a role in the Richard Gere-led thriller Unfaithful. Monaghan played Gere's secretary, but director Adrian Lyne removed her role from the final cut. In 2005, Monaghan landed a part in the George Clooney-led drama SYRIANA. Monaghan played a beauty queen who becomes involved with an Arab oil tycoon, but director Stephen Goggin left her role on the cutting room floor. The same year, Monaghan was set to star in the Keanu Reeves film Constantine. Monaghan played a demon-human hybrid, but director Francis Lawrence exercised her subplot. Number 19. Harold Ramis, High Fidelity. Harold Ramis was involved in some of the funniest movies of all time. And not just as an actor. He directed Caddyshack, National Lampoon's Vacation, and Groundhog Day. He wrote Animal House, Stripes, and Ghostbusters. But even a comedy legend isn't immune to the dreaded editing process. Ramis appeared in the 2000 comedy High Fidelity, in which he plays John Cusack's father and gives his son the worst advice on sex ever. Director Stephen Frears cut Ramis' scenes from the theatrical release, but he did include them and other deleted scenes in the DVD release. Number 20. Ghostface KILLAH, Iron Man. Rapper Ghostface KILLAH has been a fan of the Armored Avenger for years. Well, before the launch of the Marvel Cinematic Universe anyway. He named his debut solo album Iron Man. He wrote the song Slept on Tony and has referred to himself as Tony Stark. The Shellhead superfan even got himself a cameo in the first Iron Man film as a guest at a party the billionaire Playboy throws in Dubai. Although director Jon Favreau originally shot the scene to explain how Stark got from the Middle East to California, he later cut the scene along with the Wu-Tang member's cameo. Number 21. LaToya Jackson, Bruno. British comedian Sacha Baron Cohen is known for off-the-wall characters like Ali G and Borat. He's also just as famous for not cluing in people in his scenes on the fact that it's all an act. In his 2009 film Bruno, he played an Austrian fashion journalist seeking fame by interviewing celebrities. One of those celebrities was LaToya Jackson, sister of Michael Jackson. Cohen and Jackson shared a sushi lunch, served on a hairy, overweight, naked man. The film came out around the time Michael Jackson passed away though, so Cohen decided to remove the scene from the theatrical release of the film out of respect for LaToya Jackson and her family. Number 22. Michael Biehn, Terminator 2. The Terminator franchise is getting a new boost with the upcoming Terminator Dark Fate, with both Arnold Schwarzenegger and Linda Hamilton reprising their roles from the 1984 original. However, one major star from that sci-fi classic won't be making a return: Michael Biehn. Biehn told The Hollywood Reporter, "There is no way I was going to come in and do a cameo on any Terminator movie. I find it ridiculous." Biehn, who played Kyle Reese in the original film, also had a scene in the 1991 sequel, Terminator 2: Judgment Day. The scene involves Reese consoling Hamilton's Sarah Connor in a dream, but it didn't make the theatrical cut. But it did make the T2 Special Edition. Number 23, Shailene Woodley, The Amazing Spider-Man 2. In 2014, Shailene Woodley was on the verge of stardom. She had a memorable role in the George Clooney film The Descendants and had a long run on the TV drama The Secret Life of an American Teenager. Woodley was cast to take on another iconic role, Mary Jane Watson, love interest to Andrew Garfield's Peter Parker in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Although Woodley shot several scenes with Garfield, director Mark Webb changed his mind about the role in the editing room. Webb told the Los Angeles Times, "Shailene is a brilliant actress, and she did a great couple days of work, but it was very difficult to introduce someone as a competing love interest when so much is on the table with Peter and Gwen." Number 24, Paul Rudd, Bridesmaids. When the writers create a role for a specific actor, the producer then begs that actor to take the role, and he comes in and nails the scene. He should make the final cut, right? Not in the case of Paul Rudd in Bridesmaids. Rudd played a blind date for Kristen Wiig, who also co-wrote the script and crafted the role with Rudd in mind. The date goes south quickly as Rudd's character goes from nice guy to foul-mouthed lunatic after a kid skates over his finger. While the final decision did fall to director Paul Feig, he expressed his regrets about cutting the scene to Entertainment Weekly. "We did so many takes of it. It was one of the funniest things I've ever been witness to." Number 25, Harrison Ford, E.T. the Extraterrestrial. Director Steven Spielberg and actor Harrison Ford had a strong working relationship, largely built on the success of 1981's Raiders of the Lost Ark. So when Spielberg called in a favor to have Ford appear in his newest project, Ford obliged. Ford appeared as a school principal in Spielberg's E.T. the Extraterrestrial, along with 10-year-old lead actor Henry Thomas. Spielberg later felt that the scene didn't add to the story and that Ford's presence may have distracted the audience from the core plot. Although the scene wasn't used in the final cut, it did allow Thomas to work with his hero, Ford. "That was a very big day for me," Thomas told Entertainment Weekly in a 2017 interview. What do you think? Would these classic films have been better off with these stars? Or are they still great without these notable actors? Let us know in the comment section down below. Be sure to like this video, share it with your film fan friends, and subscribe to The Binger to get notifications about the latest videos.